friends, welcome back after a long pause to the SimPilot channel and the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I wasn't very active in the past 8-9 months, and I have my personal reasons for that, but I am trying to come back and start recording videos again and hopefully keep the channel updated and post a couple videos throughout the month, perhaps once a week, just to keep them coming. Just to cover what has happened in the past is I am completely switched to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I sometimes fire up 2020, but it's very limited number of times, and I am very into the long-haul flights because it aligns with my schedule, it aligns with my availability, and I like doing more long-haul flights, which is what we are going to do today. And I was thinking about which aircraft to use, and I decided to come up with the Airbus A340-300 from Inibuilds. And we are going to fly the Cathay Pacific colors today from Hong Kong to New Zealand, Christchurch International, November Zulu Charlie Hotel. We are currently cold and dark, parked at, I believe, gate 65, West Gate 65, if I'm remembering the selection correctly. And we are going to jump into the cockpit here in a little bit and start setting the aircraft up for our departure. Cockpit of the A340-300. As I said, we are at gate W65 and in a completely cold and dark state. We are gonna start with importing our flight plan from SimBrief, which I have already done, but we can import again. And we will go and import the payload and fueling also. I am gonna take a little extra fuel just to be on the safe side. We can also do this by checking the weather information at our destination airport and try to determine if we will need more fuel, but just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna do this for now, and I will not go into too many details about how to plan for this. We are gonna instant load the fuel and instant load the payload, because loading with GSX is gonna take awful lot of time, and that's not ideal for our purposes, and it will lengthen the video unnecessarily. So we're gonna go to the charts and we are gonna pull our airport charts for our departure. Telegraph charts. That's the one we want. Yes, we'll pin that one. Our departure, we are gonna use Beyond ATC for departure, but right now we are planned for Delal 1 Charlie. Delal 1 Charlie, our nav departure. This guy here is our departure according to our flight plan. We'll see if we get that. And from runway 7 center. And for the arrival, right now we are planned to arrive to runway 20. So let's just pick the arrivals from Belly 7 Bravo. Belly 87 Bravo right here. This is our planned arrival for now. This might change once we get there, but we will keep it here, and we are gonna do an ILS approach to runway 20, which will be this one right here. So we will pin that one too, and then we will also pin the airport charts for the New Zealand, our destination airport, Christchurch International. That's our charts done for now, and we will continue with starting the aircraft up and providing power to our aircraft. To do that, we'll go to the overhead. Our battery switches are right here. It's a bit dark, I'm sorry. Hong Kong is nighttime right now, but it's gonna get brighter as I turn on things in the overhead. So that's our battery turned on. We should have checked the battery voltages to make sure they are above 25, which all three are. So we'll keep it here, and then we have external power available to the aircraft, so we will go external A and external B on. That will give us the power we need to set things up in the cockpit. While we are here, we'll turn on the crew oxygen supply and arm the emergency exit lights. And we will come back to here once our screens are alive. In the meantime, we can set up our audio panel. We are gonna listen VHF 1 and 2. Listen the intercom. Do the same thing for our co-pilot. VHF 1, VHF 2. Some VHF 1 and 2 transmit on 1, and we will listen to the intercom. Also, that's the audio panel done. Let's get the cockpit lights figured out. We'll give some floodlights to both the pedestal and the glare shield. I think that's all we need to do here. Let's adjust the brightness of the glare shield just a tiny bit. And just for you guys to know, I will be using my Wing MCDU and my glare shield to set things up. So if you see numbers moving and not seeing me touching the knobs, that's probably why. Anyway, so our screens are alive, so we can continue with a quick overhead scan. This is gonna be quick. I'm gonna try to follow the procedures as close as possible, but this might not be like, not be like an airline procedure down to the brim. So know that when you are watching this video. We'll do the APU fire test and engine fire tests. Looking good. And then we will go ahead and start aligning our ARS. We are completely fueled with instant fueling, so we can turn on the pumps. And standard Airbus procedure, no white lights, is what we are trying to do here. We'll make sure our nav and logo lights are turned to position 2, which is the logo lights. Strobe lights should be in auto position, which they are. Beacon is off. Wipers are off. We should have checked these before applying the power anyway. And because we are fueled, we can turn on the seat belts. And no smoking signs. I'll turn them to on for now, and we'll move them to auto when we pass 10,000 when climbing. Okay, so that's that, and we can continue with programming our FMS. We'll start with checking the information. Active database is from January 22nd to February 18th, which is the current ARAC cycle. CFM56 5C4 engines, and we will continue with the init page. We will do the init request. Again, I'm using my MCDU, so you won't see me pressing the buttons physically. And that is our routing, and we can immediately go to the init B page because we have the payload. Our zero fuel weight is 159.7 and zero fuel weight CG is 27.2. 59.7. That's our zero fuel weight CG. We know we took 82.5 tons of fuel, so we will put it into the block fuel. And now we can pull up our OFP and figure out our fuel figures from our OFP. So if we look at here, we have trip fuel of 67.7, contingency 3.4, alternate 6.9, reserves 2.4. I hope I will remember all of this. Trip 67.7. receiving company messages, but we will clear all this. Contingency 3.4, 6.9, 3.4, root reserve, 6.9 to alternate, and final reserve for our 2.4. 2.4. That should give us our fuel figures. I'm not sure why SimBrief is showing 67.7 and our aircraft is showing 72.5 for the trip fuel and time, but so be it. We'll take it and we will go to the flight plan page. We are Cathay 119 Heavy and we can request our flight plan from, or we can request our clearance from ATC after listening to the ADIS and setting up our QNH. ADIS frequency for Hong Kong is 128.2. Set that up here. It's gonna be a while. I wish there was a radio panel as a hardware that I can purchase. I know there are some, but they are way expensive than my liking. For that, we'll turn on the flight directors. I think they are both on now. Okay. Let's go to clearance now. We have information X-ray and clearance is 129.9. 9. 9. That's it. Okay, as far as I know, CPDLC works with Beyond ATC and Inibuilds A340. We can give it a try by going into our FMC or MCDU and requesting our departure clearance. Using our MCDU. So departure request, we need to fill this in. Aircraft type is A340. We'll plug that in. ADIS is information X-ray, as we listen to. We are at gate W65 and station is Victor Hotel. Okay, so now we can put this into our CPDLC screen. We can send this request using the button down below. So our CPDLC is sent and we will see if we will get a message back from ATC. It's happening. Our iris is aligned. Received messages and okay, we have weather and load sheet. Let's check the weather. QNH, so that's good. Load sheet. 0 fuel 159.7, takeoff weight 80.4 tons. Can accept this and looks like we got a response to our CPDLC request and we have our clearance. So we can return to the menu and go to our flight plan. Clear to Christchurch, runway 07 Charlie departure or center departure. Okay, so we can select all that departure. 07 center via $1 Charlie, which is right here. Do not have any transition. So that's our departure. And I guess this is gonna keep doing it until we accept the message. Okay, let's just accept and send. Squawk 2261, that's down here. 2261 selected. Hold the message and see what else. Climb to 14,000, that's right here. We can set it up. Sorry guys, wrong button. Shall climb to 14,000. When ready, call 122125. Okay. 2225. It's doing this. Okay. Someone calling me? 2125. We should be good now. So our clearance is done. We're not gonna board the passengers using GSX because it takes too much time. We are gonna assume that the passengers are boarding or have been boarding since we started. We are gonna calculate our performance. Departing from Hong Kong, runway 07 center. Surface is dry, and if I check the ADIS information again, wind was 025 at 8 knots. 025. I need to plug this in here. 025 at 08. Outside air temperature was 15 degrees Celsius according to our ADIS information, so 5. Altimeter was 1023 or 24. Let me see which one was it. 24. Depart with flaps 2, air conditioning on, anti-ice will be off, and calculate. We didn't plug in the weight, I'm sorry guys. What was the payload? Takeoff weight 242.2. It's not decimal, it's in thousands, so I have to enter the exact amount. So it's 242,234. Two, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. There we go. We can calculate the performance. There we go. Flex 48, V1 152, V1 150, VVAR 159, and 165. If we go down to our FMS, pull up the performance page, 152. Why am I not able to? 152. What's going on? Using my FMC, physical FMC. That's interesting. 159. Okay. It's the V2. 65. 65. THS is flaps 2 up. 6.5. 1.2. Okay. Stabilizer. It's 10 plus 48 degrees. So that goes into here. There we go. Now that's our performance done. Next phase, we'll do a derated climb. Check the step altitudes. Let's take a look at our OFP to see if we have step altitudes. .350 C 370 at AMN. We'll set that in. Continue entry after this is done. And I can type. This is the sim app. It's laggy right now. I don't know why it used to work perfectly, but now it doesn't, and it's gonna be flight level 370. Plug it in here, should take it, and then our next one. Let's check the OFP again. Flight level 390 at no net. That's our second step altitude. Taking it again. Climb it will. That's good. Do we have anything else? No, that's our last step to flight level 390. That's perfect. So now let's take a look at our glare shield once more. Thing in, altitude in, so our glare shield setup is done. We selected constraints. We'll select the constraints here and airports for our co-pilot. That's our glare shield setup done. Pedestal is already done. Clearance is done, and I think we are ready to leave the gate, guys. We are ready to request push and start. So we are on the frequency. Can request our push and start. Okay, let's see. We connected to the ground, 122.125. Yes, we are. We can ask our co-pilot to request the push and start. Okay. Yeah, push back at third, which means we can turn on our beacon. Go and find GSX. They should be coming automatically once we turn the beacon on. So let's do a final check. Seatbelts are on. APU master. We will need the APU for engine start, so we are gonna start the APU, and hopefully by the time they set it up, APU will be up and running. I should have started that earlier, but hey, no worries, we'll be just fine. Cat 3 in-up message here. We'll take a look at that, because failures are enabled with this aircraft, and let me see the maintenance menu and the failures. We will leave it like that. We'll come back to it. I don't think it's gonna create any issues. We'll see. I hope this is not the ILS system failure. Then we will have to do a visual, but we'll see about that. I'm still learning the Airbus messages, ECAM messages, and what they mean. So if you know what this is, just let me know. Let's see where our APU is. APU is available. We'll turn on the APU bleed. We'll turn off the external A. Go to our ground equipment. Remove the GPU. Make sure our parking brake is on, which it is. Can remove the chocks also. Back. Continue push brake. We are told to face northwest. SQ1 green. So that should be it. Okay. Release the parking brakes. To start our engines, we'll put the starter to ignition start mode. So the red zone of the gate. We are clear, so we can start our engine 1 and 2. Monitor the start. So engine 1 and 2 rotation here. When it reaches 10%, we can start an engine 2. And okay, engine 2 is also now turned on. We are waiting for oil pressure and fuel flow. So fuel flow is there now. Oil pressure is increasing. Engine 2 now, fuel flow is started. That's ignition, and then we have the oil pressure rising. Okay. Like we are having a good engine start for the 2 engines, 1 and 2. Engine 1 is available. We are waiting for engine 2 to become available, and then we will turn on engine 3 and 4. Set the parking brakes. Engines are good. We can start engine number 3. 4, 3 and 2 rotation there. At 10%, we can do the same and turn engine number 4 on. There we go. I'm using my physical throttle quadrant, the Thrustmaster TCA, for this. There we go. Okay, fuel flow, that's ignition, and oil pressure is rising. Engine 3 looks good. Oil pressure is in the green now, and then engine 4, we are waiting for fuel flow. There's fuel flow. We should see the EGT rising, that's ignition, and then oil pressure is increasing, and we should see M1 rotation increasing too. There it is. Okay, I think we can tell GSX that we have a good engine start. They can disconnect. Okay, all engines are now up and running. We can turn off our starter switch back to normal and go ahead and turn off APU bleed and APU. terrain on the pilot side. We'll go down to the ECAN, pull up our flight control page. 5.2, that's correct according to our performance calculation. We don't need to set anything in the trim. We'll do a flight controls check, pull back, forward, right, pull left, center, right rudder, center, left rudder, center. Okay, all controls are free and correct. We can start our timer to run. Rudder trim is zeroed. Armed spoilers, and set our flaps to takeoff flaps. Transponder can go to TA array, and if we look down, boarding can go to auto. So this is TCAS. TA array is good. Taxi lights can be turned on now, and so as the runway turn-off lights, and we are ready to taxi. So let's request taxi clearance from ATC, and that's going to be our co-pilot again. Okay. I hope the ATC chatter and communication is coming through the recording. If not, I'm gonna check and see what I can do to make it happen. But our taxi routing is Whiskey 1, Whiskey Alpha, Alpha 1, and hold short 7 center. So let's pull our airport chart. Charts, airport. There we are, Whiskey 1, Whiskey Alpha, all the way down to 7 Charlie from Alpha 1. Okay, we know what we're doing. Parking brake can come off now. And hopefully she's gonna start rolling. Of brake-off power or breakaway power. Auto brakes max. Inform the cabin. Do a TO config. Everything is okay. Predictive wind shear. We'll turn it to auto, and we'll turn our weather radar to system 1, weather and turbulence. I'm not sure if the tilt function is working, but there it is. Okay, we need to pick up some speed. I'm gonna keep the throttles up just a tiny bit. That should give us some acceleration. There's also some traffic movement injected by beyond ATC, which is good to see. I hope that plane is not coming here and on a head-on collision course with us. It's not. Okay, that's good. Good. That's good to know. Nice. Looking for Whiskey and then Alpha. Bravo. Whiskey. It's seen here, so we'll turn on to taxiway Whiskey. And then second left should be Alpha. First one is Bravo. This one should be Alpha. This is our turn. We need to make a left turn to Alpha. And then that's runway 07 center. There we go. That's Alpha. We are on Whiskey. Yep, Alpha is confirmed. 07 center. Overshoot this just a tiny bit. This should be good enough. Okay. So far, so good. I will keep taxiing and bring you guys when I am at the hold short point of runway 07 center. I don't want to keep you guys here watching me taxi. It can get boring. So we are the runway 07 center is straight ahead. So I'll bring you guys back when we are closer. Hey friends, we are coming up to our runway. This should be our turn. Let's slow the aircraft down to like maybe 13, 12 knots. This should be Alpha 1 to 07 Charlie or center. And we will hold short and contact tower. Stop here. It's doing an interesting taxi routing, and we are crossing here and then turning left and coming to the runway threshold to use the full length. So I'm not sure if this aligns with real life in Hong Kong taxi routing.
Center.
We will do this. To cross, there's an aircraft on final, but we should be gone by the time that aircraft touches down, so we will be off the runway. Let's keep going. There we go. Okay, now a left turn. That left turn will take us to the threshold of 7 center. F1 or Foxtrot 1. Beautiful. Now we will continue and then another left turn to enter runway 7 center. We are being handed off to the tower. This is our turn, just a bit heavy or fast, so I'm gonna slow it down, and then there's the landing aircraft, and we will hold short and contact tower and ask for departure clearance. This is good for me. Let's stop here and let's request departure. Okay, we are clear to line up and wait. We don't have the takeoff clearance just yet, so let's line up.
Approaching 0, 7, center.
Aircraft looks like it's on approach. We are lining up.
On runway 0, 7, center.
Get clearance very shortly. I'm waiting for ATC to clear us for takeoff. Takeoff clearance, we will increase the throttles to around 40% and let the engine stabilize, and from there we'll go Flex 48, SRS runway, auto thrust blue, forward pressure on the stick, and off we go. Left rudder input to keep the center line. Pressing 80 knots, release the pressure on the stick. Maintain the center line. Airspeed is live. A little bit of left rudder input again. Holding it there just to maintain the center line. Looks like we have a slight crosswind pushing us off to the side, but we're good now. V1 is coming. There's V1.
V1.
Wait. Gently lift the nose. Off we go. And follow the flight director now for the proper pitch. Okay. Positive rate. Gear is coming up. I'm gonna keep climbing like this. Co-pilot will handle the communications from now on, and we are going to focus on flying the plane. Move flaps 1, head off to the departure. Clear to 170. Take that turn slightly, move the levers to climb. Follow the flight directors to hand fly the aircraft. Beautiful view of Hong Kong down there. Oh my god, this is awesome. I wasn't looking out the screen, I was looking at my PFD to control the aircraft, and look at that view out of Hong Kong here. That looks awesome, doesn't it? Okay, that is good. We have a 205 knot restriction on the next waypoint, so that's why I'm not moving the flaps up. We will make this turn, and once we get to 220 knots, we will clean the flaps. A nice turn. Beautiful morning in Hong Kong, and we are off to New Zealand. Probably it's gonna be late afternoon or evening when we arrive. So 220 knots. Keep the flaps up at 1 or a little bit more, because we are not at the clean speed, I believe. dot is 250, so we'll keep flaps 1 until we pass that waypoint, and then we can increase the range to 20 knots. We can turn off the terrain radar now. Focus on flying the aircraft. Perfect. Sorry, wrong button. Disarm. Spoilers. We don't need the nose light anymore. Runway turn off lights and landing lights will stay. Strobe should be, yep, they are on. We're good. Let's turn. It is absolute fun to hand fly the Inibuilds A340. I love flying this aircraft. I wasn't into Airbus a whole lot. I was more like a Boeing guy. But once you fly this and realize that the Boeings, especially the PMDG ones, are not that great when it comes to hand flying. And I have my thoughts about PMDG, and I don't think I like their business model as a customer, but they are the sole Boeing developer right now, and it's kind of like a niche that they have, and we have to live with it. Okay, 6,000, another turn, and I'm gonna hand fly until 10,000, and then we will engage the autopilot when we get to 10,000. Okay, we cleared that 5,000 plus restriction properly, I guess. Right here. And yes, we are doing about 250 because of how heavy we are. I could have kept the flaps 1. Be an issue to maintain 250 at that time, but then it's gonna burn more fuel. And I think we're good like this. Great. Absolutely great. Okay. Follow the flight track to maintain our speed. Need to climb above level 1.0 just to make that restriction. To that waypoint. Increasing the pitch slightly just to make that restriction of 11,000 or above in our next waypoint Vedvo, and then we have a 140 or above. We can go Q&H standard now. There we go. Same for the standby. Passing 9,000. Making that right turn, slight right turn now. Alright, looking good. Coming up to 10,000 now. 10,000, autopilot on, landing lights off, runway turn off lights off. Seatbelt signs to, and no smoking can stay. There it is. So now we are up to 10,000 and we will keep climbing from here. and I will meet you guys at top of descent before we prepare the aircraft for descent and landing. I don't think there is anything exciting at cruise. The view looks beautiful though. Would you look at that? Awesome. And like I said, I'll see you guys at cruise at top of descent.